and gentlemen, boys and girls, and pets of all ages. Welcome to Purdy Amazing People, live from beautiful Southern California with our host, award-winning blues artist, radio co-host, and girl about town, wonderful Bridget Purdy. Today, Bridget welcomes drummer extraordinaire Stephen Hodges to the program. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Bridget.
Woo! Well, hello there, everybody. It is Thursday, and we've got a great show for you today. I had the pleasure of sitting down with Stephen Hodges, and he had a wonderful tribute and memorial to James Harmon that we're going to share with you. And also, I just want to say how you guys are doing today. How are you doing? I want to see how y'all are doing. Let's see who we got here. I know we've got people watching. I want to see who you are. I can't see. Duke Joy Anderson, are you tuning in? That's right. Yay, Bridget. Duke Joy is a phenomenal harp player as well, just like James Harmon was. And I had the pleasure of playing with him and his band. Hey, Duke Joy, why don't you drop in the comments? Why don't you drop in the comments where people can see you and check you out, and some links and what have you? Because this is all about the love and sharing and caring and supporting my fellow brothers and sisters in the music industry. So please do that. Oh no, Sabrina! Don't tell me COVID hit you. Whew. Well, I will send you. I'm going to send you in Messenger some of the things that I took in COVID. I'll write it down for you and send it, but I do want to tell other people what happened to me. I took vitamin D. I took some zinc, a probiotic, get all that yucky stuff out, and zinc. So those were the vitamins that helped me. And then also, because I've had it more than once, I called my doctor immediately, and I had phone with it, and he prescribed some medication for me. So jump on it. That congestion, it hits everybody different. So you will definitely be in my thoughts, in my prayers, Sabrina. You know what? I love Sabrina, and I'm giving her a huge shout out today. I say hi to her here and there, but I want to tell you something. This amazing woman, what she does to support musicians is beyond, above and beyond, because she picks our links and she shares them all over the place. And that helps us to see more viewers helps us to possibly receive a little bit of monetizing. Okay. For myself, that monetizing or what have you goes directly back into my music. And right now, I really feel that the world needs more music. It can take away, it can wipe away a lot of different sorrows. So, caring is beyond caring. Sabrina, shout out to my girl, Sabrina. Give it up. Come on. Hit the love button for Sabrina. Hit the love button for. I know I have other people on there, but they're not on my little. If you guys can do me a huge favor, and if you just type in hello, then I can see up in the screen. I've got my screen here, and I've got my computer over there. You can see who is commenting. Let's see who's commenting. Let me go over here. Oh, she said thank you, Dawn. Now I see it. Okay, Duke, Sabrina, awesome. Okay. I also dug into my archives, and for the blues lover in you, I decided to release one of my favorites. And one of my favorites is I Just Want to Make Love to You, and by the architect of blues, none other than Billy Dixon himself, and recorded by Muddy Waters. You know some Muddy Waters? Chicago people. So for the blues lover, and also the tribute to your friend Manny, who passed away this year, on KOCI Radio 101.5 that I was a co-host with, and now I have my show on KOCI. That was his favorite song, and he kept telling me, "Girl, you have got to release that song. You got it." And I said, "I'm gonna cry." Oh, Andy, whew, I cry every show. I just gotta love it inside me. I gotta share it. Well, when we were on the show, I told Manny, I'm gonna release that song in February for Valentine's just for you. So that goes out to Manny. I know a lot of you listen to his show as a tribute and an honor to him. So that goes out for the blues lover in you. Because, you know, he and I spent a lot of nights prepping the show, talking, sending each other music. And he was trying to find just the right music to brighten up your days on his show, KOCI. So that song I chose him. I had it a bit recorded, but I was never officially released it. But without further ado, we're going to play I Just Want to Make Love to You, my sassy little virgin. Yeah. I don't want you to be my slave, and I don't want you to work all day. I don't want you to be true. I just want to make love to you. I don't want you You gotta love the classics. Okay, so on that tune, we've got Drake Shining on B3. Who plays with Sugar Ray Rayford. He's played with Etta James, Joe Sample, and the list goes on. Great buddy of mine. And then we also have Michael Lager, who has played with Edgar Winter, and he's also on tour with Mr. Walter Trout, great friends of mine. None other than Dave Austin, aka Dirty Dave, guitars, laying it down. Real quick before we introduce Stephen, I want to say a couple things. One, I want to say thank you to all you people who bought my poster, because I had some posters left. I had a few posters left, and I had quite a few people inquire. So I want to say thank you. That picture that you saw of me in that black dress, well, you can have it in poster size. Just message me, and I'd be happy to send one out to you, signed, filled, and delivered. 25, 25, I think it was, let me double check on the price. It was either $21.95 or 25 signed. Let me double check on the price and message me, and I will be happy to send you a poster. And I want to say hey to Willie Robinson and give him a shout out. Willie also has a company. Willie, drop some info with your company about your sound systems that you provide for artists. And then Juke Joint Anderson, thank you for letting us know where you're playing this weekend. Juke Joint and his amazing band with Jessica. We got to give a shout out to Jessica. He is going to be playing at the Old Town Blues Club with Andy. And Andy in Temecula. So hop on down there, Wine Country. Give us a time. Juke Joint, give us a time. You never know, maybe I'll pop by. So without further ado, and please hit the love button, hit the share button, please. Purdy, please. Without further ado, we have Mr. Stephen Hodges. Phenomenal drummer.
I have a definite late bloomer thing going on for sure. And I do want to share and communicate, right now I am working on a website, I'm pretty deep into photography. There's a lot of things I can put up there, and I just haven't, and I really need to. So, and then I really want to get the teaching thing going. Things occur to me and people share that kind of stuff all the time. And it's like, I look at people and they're like, this guy's got 8 million views and he's just whatever, fixing something in the garage or whatever, so hey, might as well throw the hat in the ring and see what's up. So yeah, exactly. I really appreciate the help, because with a little bit of setup work, you're ready to go. You can just send it out, once you're set up with get the portals or the right software in line. Anyway,
it's okay. It's just like setting up your home studio, and I'm in my home right now. This is my living room. My daughter's coming in and out of the room, and the kids are popping on the microwave, warming up their dinner, and the dog is running through. But here I am working.
Yeah. Thank goodness we're working.
Yeah, I say amen to that.
And I put up a blanket just to keep the backdrop simple tonight, but I mean, I want it to be kind of offhand and natural too, and I'm looking forward to getting more involved with what's going on these days. I definitely, I've been kind of hanging back.
Any way we can help you, or I can help you, it'd be my pleasure. Yeah, thanks. Seriously.
Yeah. My daughter and I are working. She lives up in Seattle, but she's real savvy with Squarespace, so we're working on my website, And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just getting a few ducks in line here, and then it'll be easy to let people know, to share. That's basically, how
Yeah.
you help people know you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So we are here today to talk about James Harmon, and
Yes.
you've shared so many wonderful stories with me the
Right.
other day, and here we are at the big harp blowout, and
The annual, yes.
the annual harp blowout.
Thanksgiving's Eve, yes.
Definitely, definitely. And one of the things that you mentioned to me that I love, if you could share, is the story of your drum,
Oh, the big bass drum, right.
the big bass drum.
Yeah. Well, the deal with James Harmon is that we played a lot of gigs in bars to make our money, but then every once in a while we would go up and we would do opening spots like at Madame Wong's West or the Roxy, all over the place. So I was learning how to mic my drums, and the little drum just wasn't working. The 22-inch drum wasn't working so well, so I went to the local music store and we went in the basement and we found this old drum, and it was pretty big, but it was the coolest one. So I had this Ludwig Blue Sparkle 32 by 16-inch bass drum. And when I first brought it to rehearsal at James's house, I rolled it in the front door and everybody started laughing. And then I dove on top of the drum and I rolled over in front of the drum and did a somersault. And then we all had a good laugh. I was sort of like ended up in James's record room. And so that was the introduction of it. But then the real story was when you would play at Madame Wong's West in the big room, you would play 2 sets. And so on the first set, I played the regular bass drum. Second set, I said, okay, we're going to go for the big bass drum. So the minute I start playing that drum, the thing I'd noticed about small bass drums when I heard mixes, I said, they seem to keep hitting me in the throat. And that's the wrong chakra for me as far as the bass drum is concerned. So when I played the big drum at Madame Wong's West second set, all of a sudden there was this gigantic window where James's voice was just shining through that other bass drum had been masking. And then there was this low fog from like waist down. It was like my Zen moment of clarity of what this drum was doing. It was offering honest to goodness low end, and it was creating a giant space where we were covering up James's voice with the sound of the smaller drum. So, and then it was like James was happy because it was so giant. It was great for a logo, and his had that fantastic logo of the harmonica spaceship thing, James Harmon, those dangerous gentlemen. Yeah. So that's the story. And I took a lot of heat, all over the world for that large drum, but I still stand by it. I have one right there. 2 of them have been stolen. The one that we're talking about was stolen. The gold sparkle was stolen, but I have a marine pearl one that sounds good. Gonna play it at the Harp Blowdown in honor of James. I haven't played that large of a bass drum in many, many years because it's a lot to carry around. But yeah, it's a good instrument. I'm glad I reenacted it.
Yeah, I've never heard a story of a drummer choosing a drum based on hitting the chakra at the right hitting the chakra and then
That's funny you say that. You're right. I was accused more than once of hippie speak.
Hippie speak.
Group. Hippie speak.
Can you?
Yes.
What I'm not sure what hippie speak is. Can you tell me a little bit more?
Well, when you're dealing with people like James, even though he may have heard of stuff like this, he's more of a blue collar beer drinking, I don't think he ever smoked a joint or anything like that kind of guy. So he's a little more blue collar kind of a deal. So if you start talking metaphysical or something, they're like, huh? They just sort of they just like they don't want to bother with it, you know.
I get
So
it now. I get it.
it's kind of a joke because they know what I'm saying.
Sure,
but
sure.
but they still mess with you, you know, because you're like out of frame as far as their consciousness is concerned, you know. But no, I mean, in the old records, when the guys really stepped into it, the bass drum kind of made a distortion that I really enjoyed, and then also the bigger drum, when you lean into it, it broadens out, so it doesn't just go thump thump, it just goes boom boom, you know. It kind of gets bigger, and
Sure.
that's what we were looking for in that particular type of music. Tom Waits liked it, you know. That was one of the things that helped attract Tom Waits to me, is the way I played, but the choices of drums that I made, you know. So yeah, it was I think it's a good idea.
I think that's a great conscious decision to complement his voice as well. You know, that the tone would almost cause a support system of vibrations, and his voice being the other layer.
And it was a time where he was making a major transition in his career. And the Swordfish Trombones was the first record where he didn't have the jazz trio anymore. Never played any cymbals, no cymbals at all in the beats. All you know, drums with your hands or with mallets or sticks or whatever. But the marimba may have played more of what a hi-hat might have played in a normal drum set type of pattern. But so it definitely was an underpinning for that. A little bit of that Maureen Tucker, you know, Velvet Underground, where you really don't use cymbals, and it really clears. And Tom really wanted that air for that sibilance, because he's he may sound funny, but if you really get into it, he's very distinct with his diction. So he didn't want anybody messing with that air up there. He wanted a big giant head on top of this music, you know, of his.
Do you think do you think that vocally that would also add to the percussiveness of it, the diction? Sure,
because there wasn't anybody fighting with him on it.
Exactly.
There wasn't anybody with that, because cymbals are kind of noisy, and
they're there's a lot of noise.
Yeah, there really is a lot. They're distortion. They really are. They are a distortion. Yeah.
And plus, when you're a short singer like me, they hit me right at my ear. I'm 5 foot, and so that's.
No, they get overplayed a lot. I probably am guilty of it, but I really try to be careful, you know. Yeah, I really do. Yeah, these days.
And so this musical magnetic energy, I'm speaking hippie talk, hippie speak.
Okay.
That musical
You're doing well.
Thank you.
You're a quick study.
That musical magnetic vibration that kind of was pulling you all together, this gravitational force of music and vibrations. What did that feel like? And we all know what the sound was like, but there's obviously a different sound on stage. And what does that feel like playing together?
Well, you were talking about James Harmon, right?
Yes, James.
Yeah. I figured. Sorry.
It's okay.
Well, no, we had to open for punk bands that threw stuff at us and told us we sounded like their grandmother and all this.
Wow.
And I was just like, I know we're playing sort of old time, you know, period music to a degree, even though we're trying to put our own stamp into it. But you know, we just played our hearts out, just as punk as anybody was, you know, just right back at them, you know. And we always won them over, you know. And there was a performance element that was pretty strong. I mean, and James, you know, strong dancer, and really had like handle on sort of like that Southern preacher kind of a throwing it out in rhythm. It's almost like Southern rap, church rap, you know.
It's called
Mavis, yeah,
revving it up.
Yeah, revving it up. But Mavis called
Revving it up.
They called it juking in her day. They called it juking.
Okay.
But anyway,
which is interesting because juking, the blues started in the juke joint. So I don't know if there's any correlation, but I find that interesting.
It's all the same stuff, really. Yeah, you're right. They all share, whether it's in the church or the club. They're all sharing something, whether the Christians don't want to admit it or not.
Yeah.
When it goes to church, it probably that beat probably got played in a bar somewhere. So it's got a little bit of devil in it if you're not careful.
Uh-oh.
But no. But the thing of it was that I can be an emotional player. It's like I can kind of rise to the occasion. If they're going to put out, well, I'm going to put out too, and you get somebody like Hollywood Fats who can really generate, and Kid Ramos, who's super strong and articulate, and then Willie J, who was bass and really animated, but really, really emotionally involved with the music. I mean, you have these grown men going for it, and James is trying to fight his way to the top with this stuff, so there was a lot of performance and a lot of stuff that we would come around and stuff that a lot of bands weren't doing, as far as pulling the people in. So we got to open for a lot of famous people, but we were always a musicians band, even though we were popular. That was the way it was going to be. But we did, we opened for the Blasters, we opened for X, we opened for Oingo Boingo, we opened for countless numbers of people, and but yeah, I think our claim to fame really was that wherever we traveled, into Europe or whatever, Canada, we really just went for it most of the time. It wasn't, it was a lot of pretty deep music played there, really. When I look back, it was some pretty serious stuff going on at times. So I feel honored to have been there. It had its ups and its downs, and everybody, it's where I learned the saying, opinions are like assholes, everybody's got one, because everybody in the band had an opinion, and at a point it's just like, all right, I've heard enough. It's going to be what it's going to be. I'll try to understand and accommodate if I can, but at a point it's just like too many opinions. So
too many cooks in the kitchen.
Well, I'm sure they all, and each person has something to offer, so you never cut anybody off necessarily. It's just, just try to process it as best you can. But everybody was pretty committed, so it was interesting. And when you get somebody like Hollywood Fats in the band, that man can really generate some music, and really he brought such an elegance and refinement to our maybe a little bit, maybe we were a little bit coarser than he was. I mean, he and I got along pretty well. So it was something special there for sure. And of course with Gene, it was special with Gene Gene Taylor from the very start as well, before Fats was even in the picture, because he didn't come around until about the second year or third year, something like that. Yeah. So we had several fifth members. We had so many fifth members. I was ready to never have a fifth member again. When Fats showed up, I didn't even want Fats. I knew about him, but I hadn't really met him yet, and I just didn't want anybody else, But because it was just always such a hassle trying to work with the fifth person.
Sure.
After Gene was gone, it just never worked, And so but then Fats was so charming and so nice, and he's so freaking talented too.
He
So
won.
I
He
just
won
sort of
you
like,
over. He won you over.
he totally came out and sweet talked my ass big time for sure. Yeah,
I've
he
heard
was
about.
totally
I've
like
heard.
yeah.
I've heard about those musicians, how they're charming.
Yeah, he probably pulled out a big joint too, but who knows? You know? But no,
That's funny.
he was something special for sure, very special. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he
Yeah.
played with Muddy Water and all these people when he was practically a teenager, you know. So he's some Jewish kid from Beverly Hills, you know, but he just had a gift and just loved
Mm-hmm.
music, you know, and really, really played it gracefully. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow, so many great memories. I mean,
Yeah.
how fortunate, how blessed to be on that
Oh.
journey all together, you know, the stories.
It was a decision because they've been working with my buddy Greg Carroll, Cats and Jammers, up and down the coast for like 4 or 5 years. And it was, I guess that in a way, maybe that was just sort of waning. He was maybe moving away or something. And James had come and substituted for Greg a few Sundays. And I'm playing this blues with him and I'm thinking, oh yeah, this is different than pop. I just get to lay in the pocket a lot longer. I don't have to like go to the B section and the C section and back, you know, I'm not jumping all over the place. I'm like, you get it in the pocket and then you just really bear down, you know, and work. And I thought, oh, that's kind of interesting. And then blues for me, when it's done, blues drumming, when it's done right, it is a lot like jazz as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And the earliest rock and roll drummers were jazz drummers from New Orleans. So Rhythm and Wheat, baby, that's the truth. You know? It's like that sensibility and that flexibility. It gives you that lilt, that extra lilt, you know. And of course, the time, you know. I mean, when rock came in, then the whole thing of like the triplet, you know, in the blues with the dividing the quarter note by 3. Then now we're you know, we're up and down and straight and that's like. That's you know, there's a whole bit of magic that occurred when music shifted from triplet to straight, and all these guys were playing around in that. It's like that's such a magical spot to be in.
You know,
so if you, yeah.
I was gonna say a good friend of mine, Muddy Waters' son, he had mentioned to me that the music is once it's in that pocket, you reach that hypnotic stage.
Yeah, the thing of it is too is that when you're shuffling, if you almost treat it like the Africans would, if you just flip over your emphasis, all of a sudden the guitar might be shuffling, but then you could play rock and roll against that,
sure.
And it's really powerful, you know, because they all kind of they're kind of interchangeable when you. You know, there's 3 again, you know, there's 3 and divided by 3 divided by 2, and 3 is just, it just flows. It's more round. There's just no way around it. That's why it's 3. So it will be round, and that's the style of music that it's, if you want straight up and down or you want a more serious straight 8th note, well, that's fine. That's dividing the quarter note by 2. It's a big deal. It's a big difference. So that was kind of the charm of playing this, you know, because I had played a lot of jazz. I won awards playing big band drumming in college and stuff. So I was definitely aware of what, you know, who John Coltrane or the famous Elvin Jones or Blakey or any of the jazz drummers. I knew them all. So, and seen many of them. So I was aware of that already, you know. So, so that was but you know, when you're really playing blues, it kind of schools you in how to play as little as possible and make the most out of it, you know, or don't really play something unless you really think you should, you know. And and it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about accompanying people, and I really appreciate that. Yeah. Has a lot of good attributes as far as storytelling is concerned. Playing when the band plays the verse quietly and brings up the chorus, it shows respect and it shows emphasis. And hey, Nirvana wouldn't have been as popular if they didn't do their verses quiet and rock out on the choruses. If they just slagged away loud all the time, I don't think it would have been nearly as potent. So
those dynamics really hit the heart hard. The dynamics they take you places. The dynamics.
They're magic. They really do create magic, and it's important to preserve that because it's easy to lose. It's easy to go too loud, too quick, and drummers are but really guitar amps were the thing that really sent it over the top, because the guitar can usually play even louder than the drums, even though the guitar thinks that the drum is driving him. It's like a never-ending circle. But
we know who the bus driver is.
But nonetheless, I mean, it's always a team effort. If everybody plays along well, it's like when you can hear a pin drop while B.B. King is telling the story, everybody's leaned in because that vacuum of that quiet just sucked them up in their chair. Like, oh yeah, okay, tell me more, B.B. So it's the same thing, and then it takes almost nothing to have drama, right? When you drop a bomb after it's been quiet like that, you don't even have to try hard. All you have to do is hit a little bit harder, and it's like, damn. Wow. Okay. Something's happening here. Shit. I'll wake up, So yeah.
Ah, wow. What a passion for music and instruments, I mean, we can geek out forever on this stuff.
Sure. Oh, I know.
I mean, you're speaking my language here, and it's wonderful. And we this is all the stuff that happens behind the music. Really, the great conversations that we have, and writing, and playing, and performing, and creating, and it's really all. It's a beautiful thing, really.
It really is. I mean, whether anybody wants to see it this way or not, it's a laboratory. The nightclub is our laboratory, or it's our church, or it's our study hall, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, if I hadn't come up in an era where I could work 7 nights a week in the bars, this doesn't happen anymore. You're lucky. I mean, it's a miracle if you could get a job once a week in a bar, let alone once a month, continually on a regular basis. So that, and we were able to do that with James because that was still happening up until, I don't know where it quit, 83, 84, 85, I forget. But after a while, there were just a lot less venues to play music in anymore, So yeah, I feel lucky to have grown up in an era where the journeyman musician, can hone your accompaniment skills.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I love your music. It's been great talking to you.
You as well. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got a lot of knowledge, and you put it back kind of on a spiritual realm, which is music is very spiritual.
Yeah, it's hard not, I mean, I guess I was always moved by people like John Coltrane or Pharoah Saunders or Maharishi Mahesh, Transcendental Meditation, or Paramahansa Yogananda, I mean, or the Agape Church, Michael Beckwith, it's just like, music, you're always trying to find solutions, and my solution for people is to just, hey, live and let live, mind your own business, stop messing with those folks over there or those who you don't, it's not your business. So stay out of it. And I just see a lot of people messing with a lot of people, and I'm, still not happy about it. And, I really believe that's the way things ought to be. So yeah, I try to do that with my music, I go in looking for solutions and feeling out who I'm playing with at any given moment and try to come up with something that both of us are happy with, Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you so much for sharing your stories about, the other day on the phone about Mavis. I love Mavis.
Yeah, she's just like she's like, like sort of an angel walking around on the earth in a way, I mean, she's as human as the next one, but she's still so special and and something very meaningful about her to a lot of people. A lot of people find comfort in her, and I really I can appreciate that, and I'm thankful for it too, for sure. Yeah, but yeah, she's a crack up though, man. She is. Yeah, I know. Yeah, when we went out, and she gave me for dinner in Holland, and then she named me Stone Pony, and I think she named herself Clarice. I think it was Clarice. Yeah. And I forget what she named Adam, the road manager. Because she always called him Speedy because he was always on top of everything. But
that's funny.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Well, we'll see you then at the gig, right?
I would love to come. I'm gonna see if I can make it. It's my daughter's birthday, but I'm hoping I'm hoping to come.
You have grown, gather all of the rain and every ounce of pain, wash the dirt and the dust down the drain. It's the living on a high note, living on a high note, living on a high note. It's living on a high note, living on a high note, living on a high note. And if you gotta sing low, sometimes the way to go.
Joe, he looked over at Dave.
He
was thinking he had it made. Dave looked over at Paul. He was thinking he had it all. Paul looked over at Steve, who was steadily moving toward what he believed.
He was living on a high note, living on a high note. He was living on a high note. He was living on a high note. He was living on a living on a high note, living on a high note. He was living on a high note. a high note. Living on a high note. I love it living on a high note.